Dear all, in this video, a short brief explanation of reflector antennas will be done. So reflector antennas are very important in microwave radiation applications. Basically, when you consider microwave frequency, that is very high frequency, basically the physical size of antenna will become so small that any suitable shaped reflector will be able to produce desired directivity. So in case of reflector antenna, there will be, rather than having just one antenna, there will be two antennas. One antenna is required to excite it, and the other antenna onto which the reflected waves will be falling. So usually dipole, horn or slot antennas are used to excite the reflector antenna, and they are known as primary antenna, while the reflector antenna is known as the secondary antenna. There are different types of reflector antennas like flat reflectors, corner reflectors, Cassegrain reflectors. So all this fall under reflector antennas. So plane reflector means basically a horn antenna will be placed in front and the waves from the horn antenna will fall onto the plane reflector, and then the waves will be directed in some particular direction. So there are some very basic properties of parabola. That is, if a parabola has to produce, if a particular shape has to produce a plane wavefront, then it is required that the distance from source to the plane wavefront by path 1. So this is path 1, this is path 1 and path 2 should be equal. Only if these two paths are equal, only then the waves that are traveling will be converted into plane wavefront. So the general equation for a parabola is 2L is equal to R into 1 plus cos theta, where R is equal to 2L by 1 plus cos theta. Now the distance from any point P on a parabolic curve to a fixed point F. F is known as the focus. So that should be equal to the perpendicular distance to a fixed line called the directrix. So this distance and this distance should be equal, that is PF should be equal to PQ. Now considering this figure, now here A dash be a line normal to the axis at an arbitrary distance QS from the directrix. So this is the directrix. So this is the distance QS. So here since PS is equal to, PS will be equal to QS minus QP or PQ, and also PF is equal to PQ. So from this we can write PF plus PS will be equal to PF plus QS minus PQ. So that will be equal to QS. So a property of a parabolic reflector is that all the waves from an isotropic source at the focus that are reflected from the parabola arrive at the line AA dash with equal phase. So the image of the focus is the directrix, and the reflected field along the line AA dash will appear as though it originated at the directrix as a plane wave. So here the plane BB dash, this is known as, so which is the where the reflector is cut off, this is called the aperture plane. So basically when you are considering three-dimensional, that is a paraboloid of revolution will convert a spherical wave from an isotropic source from an isotropic source at the focus into a uniform plane wave at the aperture. The surface generated by the revolution of a parabola around its axis is called a paraboloid or a parabola of revolution. So if an isotropic source is placed at the focus of a parabolic reflector, the portion A of the source radiation that is intercepted by the paraboloid is reflected as a plane wave of circular cross section, provided that the reflector surface deviates from a true parabolic surface by no more than a fraction of a wavelength. Now here, if the distance L between the focus and the vertex, if it is an even number, that is n lambda by 4, so then the direct radiation in the axial direction from the source will be in opposite phase, and so this will tend to cancel with the central region of the reflected wave. So however, if L is equal to n lambda by 4, then all the radiation from the source will be in same phase and will tend to reinforce the central region of the reflected wave. So basically the presence of the primary antenna in the path of the reflected wave will have basically two disadvantages. That is, so this will create interaction. So there are some waves traveling this way and there are some waves which will be which gets obstructed by this primary antenna. So because of that there will be interaction and mismatching, and also this will act as an obstruction for the waves. So this will result in nulls, or here there will be more minor lobes. So in order to avoid this, instead of placing the primary antenna in front of the reflector, it will be slightly moved to one of the sides. So this type of feed is known as offset feed. Now here the expression for field distribution across aperture of a parabolic reflector is derived. So first consider here a parabola, and here you have placed the, here is the focus. So these are the waves that is generated. Let the small angle be d theta and this angle be theta, and this distance to the focus, let it be equal to L. So now here the line source is isotropic in a plane parallel to its axis. So for a unit distance in the z direction, the power P in a strip of width dy will be equal to, so power P in a strip of width dy, so this is dy, so that power will be given as, if you consider Sy is the Poynting vector or the power density, so directly power can be written as dy into Sy. Also, power can be written in terms of power per unit angle per unit length. So this can be written as U dash into d theta. So both these powers can be equated. So equating both the powers, so this can be written as Sy by U dash is equal to 1 by d theta into, from the diagram it can be seen that theta in the diagram dy can be written as r sin theta, So instead of dy it is written as r sin theta, and here as per parabolic property r is equal to 2l by 1 plus cos theta. So from this we can, if we substitute this and differentiate and find out, it will be obtained as Sy is equal to 1 plus cos theta by 2l into U dash. So now, if the ratio of the power density S theta at theta to the power density at theta equal to 0 is considered, that is taking the ratio of this. So this can be written as S theta by S0 is equal to 1 plus cos theta by 2. Now the field intensity in the aperture plane, so that can be written as, it will be square root of 1 plus cos theta by 2. Again, E theta by E0 is the relative field intensity at a distance y from the axis. Now again, if the same derivation is extended, considering the case of a paraboloid of revolution with an isotropic source as shown in the second figure, again the total power P, as it is for the entire parabola, considering the entire sphere, so yeah, it should be considered as 2 pi. So 2 pi rho into d rho into S rho, where S rho is the power density. Now this power must be equal to the power radiated by the isotropic source. So isotropic source total power can be written as 2 pi sin theta into d theta into U. U is the radiation intensity. Again, these two powers can be equated. So from which we can write S rho by U is equal to sin theta by rho into d rho by d theta, where rho again is equal to r sin theta from the diagram. So that will be equal to 2l sin theta by 1 plus cos theta. So again, if it is differentiated, that is by applying the formula of du by d by 2 theta of u by v, by taking that formula differentiation of u by v, this formula will be obtained. So again, considering the ratio at theta and theta equal to 0, that is substitute theta and then substitute theta equal to 0. So this becomes 2 by 4 by 4l square, and taking the ratio of both, so this will be the equation. Again, e theta by e0 will be equal to square root of this, so 1 plus cos theta by 2. Now next is paraboloidal reflector. So paraboloidal reflector, again considering three-dimensional. So when it is considered three-dimensional structure, it becomes paraboloid. It is known as paraboloid. So by rotating the parabola around its axis, that is known as paraboloid. So again, here you have the primary antenna and the secondary antenna. Here it is considered a waveguide horn antenna as the primary antenna. So gain of the paraboloid with circular mouth, or if you consider of a dipole as the primary antenna, gain is generally given by the formula 4 pi a naught by lambda square, where a naught is known as the capture area, that is this area through which it is capturing. So that is given by the formula k into a, where k depends upon the type of primary antenna used. So here this will be how the pattern will be, which gives a much higher directivity, and it is directional in particular direction. So here k, usually if you consider dipole antenna, it's equal to 0.65. So substituting it, this is how the formula will be. Now actual area of circular aperture with diameter d is given by pi d square by 4. That is considering pi r square, so r will be d by 2 when it is circular aperture. So the power gain can be again written as pi square into, instead of a it should be substituted d square by 4. Substitute this in this formula, so gain will be equal to 6 into d by lambda whole square. Here d by lambda is called aperture ratio of the paraboloid. Now if circular aperture is assumed, beamwidth between first nulls is given by the formula 140 lambda by d degrees. D is the diameter and lambda is the wavelength. And for uniformly illuminated rectangular aperture, beam width between first nulls is given by 115 lambda by L degree. L is length of rectangular aperture, and half power beam width for large circular aperture is given by 58 lambda by D degrees. Similarly, for an uniformly illuminated aperture, the general formula is given as 4 pi AE by lambda square, and if it is circular aperture, it becomes pi r square. So r is here, diameter is considered, so it becomes d by 2 the whole square. So this can be written as pi d square by 4. So substituting that in the formula, here 4 will get cancelled. So what is remaining will be 9.87 into d by lambda the whole square. Now next is concept known as feed ratio, spillover and focal length to diameter ratio is another important parameter. So parabol reflector can be designed by keeping the mouth diameter fixed and varying the focal length also. So here three cases are possible. So if f is very much less than d by 4, so the focus will lie inside the mouth of the aperture. So it is difficult to get the source giving adequately uniform illumination over a wide angle. Next, if this focal length is very much greater than, then it is difficult to focus all the radiation from the source onto the reflector. So the design must provide maximum gain between the two cases. So the focus should lie inside the mouth of the parabola. Now in one of the cases where this is equal to lies in the inside the focus is within the mouth, that is when it is equal to d by 4, so this gives a maximum pencil beam shaped radiation. So that will be equal in both horizontal and vertical plane. So these are different cases when the focal length is varied. So this causes spillover and back lobe will be created. So that is here when you consider focal length is very large. So here the open mouth lies beyond the focus. So here spillover occurs, and when it is very small, it is very tough to obtain uniform illumination. Now there are two types of feed systems. That is one is Cassegrain feed system and the other one is offset feed system. So in Cassegrain feed system, here there are this is the primary antenna, horn antenna, and also we have another one more antenna which is known as paraboloid reflector or subreflector, and here is the parabolic reflector. So here basically the feed radiator that is placed at the vertex of the parabolic reflector, instead of placing it at the focus, it is placed at the vertex of the parabolic reflector. So also we have the hyperboloid reflector, which is it's one of the foci. This focus will almost coincide with the focus of the parabolic reflector. So this type of feed system is known as Cassegrain feed system. So the radiation emitted from feed radiated are reflected from Cassegrain secondary reflected. So that will illuminate the main parabolic reflected as if they had originated from the focus. So then the parabolic reflected will colluminate the rays as usual. So here the main disadvantage of using this is problem is some of the radiations is obstructed by this parabolic reflector. So basically aperture blocking effect can be avoided by using offset feed systems. But advantage is that there is a reduction in spillover and minor lobe radiation. Then we can obtain ability to get an equivalent focal length much greater than the physical length, and we can place the feed in a convenient location. Also we can adjust the beam can be broadened by adjusting one of the reflected surfaces. Only issue is it is blocking the rays.